Hi everyone, it's Terry Vanover with Choosing to Rise. I'm a divorce strategist and I help you come through your divorce without being legally, emotionally, and financially devastated. Each week we go live on Wednesday evenings and we talk about topics and how to get through your divorce, come out of it on the better side of it, how to get through this difficult journey. I've been there, I've lived it, I understand how difficult it can be, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. So I've dedicated my life to helping others come through this time much better off than say I was. And you can come through this, you can rebuild your life, you can find what it is that you were meant to do, you can find a healthy, happy, new relationship. It doesn't have to be the end, it can be a new beginning for you. So tonight's topic is, does your ex texting you ruin your whole day? This has been a really frequent topic lately, and so it keeps coming up about how so many of my clients and the people that I work with in my support group, they struggle with being triggered by their ex, or they struggle with emotions. They have an ex who somehow pulls them emotionally and makes them angry or makes them upset or frustrates them. So I want to talk about something that happened today. Actually, it's very timely. And I was speaking with a client, and she's beautiful. She has a wonderful new relationship that is really going fantastically well. Beautiful children, an amazing new job in the city. So she has a lot of amazing things going on for her. And when she came to the session, what she wanted to work on was releasing this emotion that she has around her ex, which is really surprising. This divorce is long over. She's supposedly moved on, but one text from him will just simply ruin her day. And she talked about how emotionally she becomes so frustrated and then impatient with her children, and it was really impacting her whole life. Because they've got kids together, so they still have to co-parent together. So this is something really that if this is going on, it can really impact you negatively, and it's something that you really need to work on, because sometimes we think that we've moved forward, and then you realize that someone else has control over you, someone else has power over her or you. And in this case, her, she was being pulled and being emotionally confused and emotionally angered because anytime he talked with her, and of course they had this dynamic, right, that just it always spiraled down. So the number one tip that I have for you, if you feel that you are struggling with being triggered by your ex, is to just step back, take a moment, and become aware. What triggers you? Is there a specific topic? Is there something specifically that he or she says to you? And just kind of give space there and get some distance and get some objectivity and figure out what it is that this person is saying or doing that's causing you to become emotionally up in an uproar. So look at it from an objective viewpoint when you're not in the moment and figure out what is the trigger. Give it some space, observe it, give it some distance, figure out what it is that's triggering you. And then step back and find the humor in the situation and go, wow, I am giving my power to this person over something petty. Maybe they said something petty, or maybe they dragged something up from the past, and you bought it, right? You took the bait and you snagged it, and you got emotionally triggered and you got involved in a he said she said thing. So you got to look at it and go, wow, when I allow myself to be triggered by this person, if I allow this person to make me sad or make me angry or manipulate me, I'm giving away my power to this person. So first is identifying it, then not reacting to it, but giving it some space and giving it some distance and giving it the observation that it deserves. And then most powerfully, though, I was talking about my client from earlier today, is this is where it gets a little difficult, right? But this is the tricky part. If someone is triggering you, it's because there's an honesty underneath. And I don't mean honesty from them. I mean it comes from you. If it's triggering you, somewhere deep down in your subconscious, you believe it. So maybe this person says, oh my gosh, you're a worthless dad. Somewhere deep inside, this is triggering you because you feel like you have some insecurities with how you're fathering, or maybe not being there for your children or something like that. So it's triggering you. So there's something deeper underneath. So what I did with my client is, like, we went real deep, because this is a pattern that she's had from being married to him. And they haven't been married in a long time. And yet they have brought these negative patterns years later, their way of communication. So he still has the ability to trigger her and manipulate her and get this dynamic of communication going on between them. And the truth is, there was a payoff for her. She was doing something. It had nothing to do with him. The reason she was triggered, it had to do with her. It had to do with an emotional unmet need that she had way, way deep inside. So we dug a little deeper, and we were able to bring that to light and expose it and let it go, so that this way her ex no longer has power over her. So that when he texts her about something simple about the kids or something, she can just respond, effectively, shortly, briefly, and just let it go. So I guarantee you that there's a lot of you out there watching, and you feel like you are being triggered by someone. So I bet that if we dug in a little deeply, we could figure out what's going on subconsciously, what emotional need is not being met, and why you're being triggered. So I invite you to reach out to me. Just message me here on Facebook, and we'll talk about what's going on and why you're being triggered and how to release that. Most importantly, we can talk about like 3 steps to releasing that trigger, so that you don't have to go through life letting someone else own your power and ruin your day. So message me, Terry Vanover, or you can always email me, terrievanover@comcast.net, and I'm happy to talk with you, and we can set up a complimentary phone session so we can get rid of those triggers and come up with 3 steps for releasing those emotional triggers so you can live a happy, healthy life. All right, so I will see you next Wednesday evening. Have a great week. If you have any questions, have anything that you need, provide me with any feedback you have. I'd love to hear from you. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you. Terry Vanover, Choosing to Rise.